how's tour been so far? I've heard you've done 29 dates in North America and you finished at
Yes,
Radio
sir.
City. Yeah, how
Yeah,
has
we
that
did.
been?
Yeah, we did 29 days, or 29 shows. Yeah. It was awesome. It
Yeah,
was really, really, really fun. Yeah. It was honestly like the first time that we got to the end of tour and we weren't all exhausted and ready to go home.
that's
Which,
such a win. Oh,
yeah,
come on.
that's like the mark of a special one when you've done 29 shows and you still would do more.
Yeah, yeah. Were you doing it with the same team? Like, how many tours have you done before?
We've done, I'm trying to, so we had about 12 crew members. A solid handful of them have been with me for a minute. But I think what's cool about tour is when you're living on a bus for, 7 weeks with people, you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
really acquainted, so it feels like you've known them forever.
yeah. Come on. And you kind of get to see the whole of North America too, which is kind of
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
America's huge, dude.
it
Like, I mean,
is.
Australia is, I think, right? Australia is massive, right?
Yeah, I think like land size, we're the same if you take out Alaska. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's
yeah,
pretty huge.
America's
Yeah,
so big. So yeah, and like geographically, just everything is so diverse.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
pretty cool.
I love that. What was like a highlight of the 29 nights?
Ooh. Something that was pretty crazy is we got stuck in a snowstorm driving to Colorado,
It is.
and
Yeah, wow.
we thought we had to cancel the show, and like we were still a 7 hour drive away, and we'd have to essentially we had to like make the call by 2 p.m., so we could get there by like go on at 9 p.m. showtime.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
at like 1:30, we the road finally opened. So we were like 30 minutes away from having to cancel the show. And they had to like literally FaceTime with the crew on the ground there in Denver to like build our whole rig and everything because the truck had already
Yeah,
gone. And so yeah, we made it, and like it was such a sick show, and like
yeah,
everyone's adrenaline was just going crazy, and yeah, we were like
heck yeah.
30 minutes away from having to cancel it.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. We're actually going to be coming to Australia kind of as it's getting cold. We've just had our summer. So it's kind of
Okay.
getting a little
Like
bit cold,
how
but we
cold?
don't, not like cold, cold though. Just like
Okay.
in your like 15 to 20 degrees. Oh, it's
That's
apparent. Like,
that's pretty warm for us, so.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, sick, sick. You did the quick Celsius thing. Have you been to Australia before? Like just for
No,
fun? You've never toured, but have you just been for like a holiday or no?
no,
This is your
I
first time
really
coming
wish.
down under. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. So why Australia? Why bring the album to Australia?
Honestly, like it feels like the right next step. Obviously it is generally like expensive and hard to get over
Yeah,
there, but something that's really interesting that we noticed is there was like an uptick in data of
yeah.
people who were listening in Australia, and so we're like, we
Yeah,
gotta make this happen.
I love
Um,
that.
yeah, so we're like, it's about time, we've never gotten to go, so.
Yeah, come on. Well, we're very excited to have you. And it's quite keen. Um, Now talk to us about the actual album, Stellaria. Like, why is it called that? Where was your mind at when you were making it? You have a beautiful way to bring such an authenticity and rawness into your music. So just step us through kind of that process. And why did you make this album? Where were you at when you were making it? And yeah, like why choose to tour it at this time?
Well, I'm a little bit of a nerd, and I studied Latin through like pretty much from when I was 12 to 18. And so and then the second component is I knew I wanted like one word to kind of describe the world.
Yeah,
And so I kept seeing the word Stellaria pop up, because we were shooting content out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which for context is like this beautiful, Yellowstone National Park is there, like a beautiful national park, and it's just
yeah,
gorgeous. So such a departure from anything that I've done. And so we kept seeing the word Stellaria. There's like a Stellaria Lane and a
yeah,
Stellaria Creek, and like again, me being a nerdy Latin student was like, oh, I really like that word. Um, and yeah, I don't know, I just saw it and was like, I think this is like a great word for this all.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Your way to kind of create a whole world of its own in an album is quite beautiful. And
Thank you.
like I said before, you bring such a rawness and you kind of like merge that head and heart so beautifully with so many lovely metaphors. Um, with that, like talk to us about your production of how you say you mentioned you're kind of nerdy and we love that. Um, in the actual production process of how we created the album. Um, I've heard you're a bit of a you like to do everything kind of artist, which we love. Like nerd out with us. Are we a Logic person, Ableton? What kind of like
Logic.
Mike's Logic? All right, sick.
Yeah.
Did we always start on Logic? Like in the
Yeah.
bedroom, just like grinding? We love that. We love that.
Yeah.
Downloading the plugins. What kind of mics do we like to use when recording and things like that?
Um,
Do we nerd
so
out on the gear?
yeah, 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 totally.
Yeah.
This last I've always been on a Neumann, and then this last record, the last like 2 years, I have done everything on a Telefunken, the 251.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, so that's kind of the main thing. I do like sometimes I do like background vocals on just like a little Shure handheld just to kind of
Yeah, yeah.
have a little bit of like sonic diversity, but yeah, the Telefunken for
We love that.
everything.
We love that.
Yeah.
And then guitar and piano. We've heard your incredible Brent live from the internet. With the one and only. And with that, are we more of a guitar person when we start writing, or do we start with the keys, or is it kind of just different? Like, run us through your process of like, you have a song idea. Do we start with the music? Do we start with the idea? Like give some inspiration for some Aussie artists maybe out there.
Yeah. I think what's so fun about it is I don't really have like a set routine. I was saying just a few minutes ago, like in my last interview actually, I was saying like I just try to go to the studio every day, like any day I'm home, like I just try to go to the studio even on weekends, and I just try to spend a little bit in there, even if it's just doing like emails, just so I'm in there.
Yeah.
Um and so the way I have it set up in there is basically my upright piano and a bunch of guitars are kind of within arm's reach from my desk. And
Yeah.
so like naturally like you just start fiddling or you pick something up, and um so I feel like that's a big way that things happen is like I just force myself to go in there and noodle around.
I love that.
Um yeah, but it happens like there's so many different ways. Like I sometimes I just making stupid little beats and
Yeah.
an idea will come.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got such a diverse range. You kind of started out in that dance space and now you've kind of mellowed out and we love it. Where's kind of are you sticking to this sound? Or are you kind of just letting it happen? Or have we been riding on tour? Um, where
Yeah.
are we at there? Like, do you like to ride on the go? Are you one of those artists that pulls out the voice memos and you just putting samples into your phone? Like,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
I just bring a little interface and like handheld mic with me on the road too. So I wrote a bunch on the road, and yeah, I love writing. I'm sitting on a lot of stuff, which is really fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting on a lot of stuff. So how did we pick the 14 track, the 15 tracks for Stellaria? Because I'm sure you've
Yeah.
got like a crazy, crazy library of all of these incredible songs. What's the process of like finalizing, picking the songs? Is it with a PR team? Do you do it yourself? Like run us through
It's
that.
kind of a it's kind of a combination. I think that at the end of the day, the label's wonderful, and they really do give their artists a lot of creative control, which is amazing. And at the same time, they also are great because they kind of contribute their input as well. So um, we get a lot of opinions, which can sometimes be a lot to navigate and kind of work through because obviously everyone has different opinions and stuff. But I think I think what's helpful when you have a lot of opinions is you can kind of survey a lot of people and see at least like, okay, where do opinions align? Where are people disagreeing? And where opinions align is generally obviously where like a lot of the good songs are,
Yeah,
or the songs that maybe like are more likely to make it onto a record. So um
yeah,
it's tough. Yeah, I think for Stellaria there's probably, I mean, we definitely wrote like over 50 songs, I would say. I mean, for sure more than that, a lot more than that, but yeah, I like we even maybe finished and like actually were choosing from like I don't know, we got narrowed it down to like 20 and then narrowed, get it down to that final 15.
yeah.
It's
Wow.
crazy how many songs by your favorite artist probably just are on a in a Dropbox
Just
folder
sitting there.
somewhere.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. I love it. Now, you've probably been asked this question a lot, but I think just with the data is bringing you to Australia in the sense that you've seen that spike up in the Spotify streams and things like that. And we're very grateful for that. How do we not let the data and like TikTok and social media and things like that affect your music in that way? Because you seem to have such a pure form to your artistic kind of way of creating things. Um, do you actually have a process of how you keep that out, or do you feel that that's kind of coming into your creative process and just be raw with us there of just the real life stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think it's inevitable that it's gonna kind of creep into your brain because we all want success, we all want a song obviously to go viral, and social media is kind of the platform where that happens now.
Yeah,
And I also, obviously think the best music that stands the biggest test of time is music that comes from a real place
yeah,
and is sonically interesting and I don't know, it's a lot of I think just kind of reminding yourself like instant gratification versus like longevity, because I think you know and I think I always say things that I'm sure the label doesn't appreciate, but short-term virality is less interesting to me as an artist than, making sure I have a long career and, people are buying tickets and the music means something to them. So that's just something I like to keep in mind.
yeah. I love that. That's actually a really, really beautiful perspective. Thanks for being so raw there. Um, I guess what are we keen to see in Australia? Just like outside of the music stuff, I'm sure you've heard fun things. Like what are we keen to just experience? And yeah,
I feel embarrassed because I think that all the things I want to see are really touristy.
yeah. No, that's pretty
Yeah.
normal though. Yeah, I like that. I like
But
that.
it's embarrassing because that's like people saying they want to go see Times Square in New York. And like as someone who lives in New York, I'm like, no, don't do that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I mean,
valid.
I want to see I want to see the Sydney Opera House because like you see that in movies all the time. So seeing that would
Yeah,
be really cool.
yeah.
Um, I really want to see a kangaroo and a koala really
That's
badly.
a given. You have to do that.
I'm
I
excited.
love that.
I'm excited for all the slang.
The slang, yeah, we're pretty
Yeah,
raw. You're gonna be sworn at most likely. Um, yeah, one fun thing. Have you ever done a shoey?
I
Do you
heard
know what a
about it.
shoey is? You've heard about
Yeah,
it. Yeah, you're most likely gonna get a chance to do a shoey. That'll be exciting. You don't have to, but the crowd
I
will
think you
the crowd
have
will get
to.
behind it. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to. I reckon. Yeah, I love it.